Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm your host, Ildiko Ferenczi, and you're listening to Becoming Unshakable, the Legacy Conversation bonus series, a special edition brought to you by the Entrepreneur Parents Podcast, a community of strong families building unshakable legacies. I'm here with another Legacy Conversation bonus episode because our team has encouraged me to keep doing these solo shows. The numbers and messages say you've been loving them, and I'm so grateful that it's resonating with you. They're doing so well that we'll be adding them throughout the week, especially for you. And I don't know what day exactly they're going to be landing, but just watch for them. I really couldn't be happier to have this time with you. Just you and me today. No. Ooh, that's better, right, babe?
Yeah!
Yeah. She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids,
and everything in between. So let's dive in because this conversation is close to every parent's heart. I know because it's close to mine. It's close to our communities. And listen, friend, as parents, we spend so much time teaching our daughters how to be kind, how to share, how to be strong, confident, and how to work hard. But one of the most important lessons that I and we can ever teach them is how to recognize who and whose they are, and what honor and integrity looks like in others, not just in themselves, but in others. This is so important because the world will tell our daughters that being pretty is enough. That if a man says she's beautiful, that's love. That attention is affection. But attention fades, and affection without intention leads to heartbreak. Every time. We've all seen it. And as mothers and fathers, we refuse to raise daughters who mistake empty words for genuine love. We have to. It's our responsibility to raise intelligent, discerning young women who understand how valuable they truly are. And if they ever experience anything less than honor, they don't just walk away, they run. It's what they need to know. You see, true love isn't loud. It doesn't need to be flashy or filled with promises that disappear when life gets hard. Because true love shows up. It keeps its word. It keeps its word. It honors you when you're not in the room. It defends you when you're out of earshot. In other conversations, at other tables, it defends you when you're not even there. A man of integrity doesn't just say, I love you. Those are just words. He lives it in how he speaks about you, how he protects you, how he carries responsibility. You see it in every action. When you're sick, when you're happy, how he treats you. And of course, this goes both ways. He races home to be with you the same way you race home to be with him. Just because someone wants you doesn't mean they value you and Our daughters need to know the difference. Desire is easy. Discipline is rare. The man who honors you with his life, his word, his choices, that's the man worth waiting for. And these are the men we're raising. These are the men we need to be raising. A man who chooses to pray with you and protects your purity. In this generation, man, this is so important. The man that chooses to pray with you. A man that chooses to pray with you and protect your purity. Right? Because that's not really what's happening in this hookup culture. And that's dangerous. Anything less, do not just walk away, run, lock the door, throw away the key. But even as we warn and protect, let's remember the beauty that we're fighting for, right? Our daughters are like precious roses in a garden. We've been entrusted to tend, right? These are actually God's children. We just get the privilege to bring them up and pour into them. That's why it reminds me of roses. That's another story. Sorry, thought just came into my head. When my brother passed away, I wrote a beautiful poem about him being a rose. But this is how I think of children. They start as this tiny little rosebud, and then they bloom into a beautiful rose. And that's the cycle of life, right? That's another conversation. But this is how we see our daughters, as precious roses in a garden. And we've been entrusted to tend to them. They're watered with wisdom, guarded by prayer. Every day, pray over them. I still feel my mother's and my grandmother's prayers. That's how powerful prayer is. Okay, it will hit generations. So guarded by prayer, blooming under the light of love. Isn't that beautiful? Just like it's such a beautiful image. And we don't just teach them what to avoid. We must show them what healthy, holy love looks like. We have to show them, because whatever we show them is what they are going to do. We know this as parents. Perhaps we don't want to think about it, but we know it. You could tell them to do one thing, but if you're not doing it, they won't either. Because one day, the seeds of truth we plant will blossom into women. These are our daughters who know their worth and guard their future family for generations, leaving a beautiful legacy. Just imagine this. Imagine giving your heart, your trust, even your purity to a man who convinced you to believe in him. And then he walks away from you. And then he walks away, just walks away. He's taken everything. He's promised you the world, how precious and beautiful you are. And then he takes everything and just walks away. And God forbid you have children with him. Then he walks away from your children too, because he was never a man of integrity to begin with. And our daughters didn't know how to identify that, or how to identify and believe who they really are, their worth, their honor, what they are worth. More than precious diamonds and jewels. And this is how they have to think about themselves so that they don't get tricked, because there's a lot of tricky men out there that are selfish, that want what they want, and they'll do whatever they'll come up with tactics to get what they want, and then they'll walk away. And that's not fair. Before you reach for that coffee, consider this. What if the energy boost you're looking for isn't in your cup, but in your cells. I challenge you to swap your morning coffee for Shilajit by Symbiotica. And here's what can happen. No crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy, plus mental clarity and trace minerals that our bodies actually need, that are actually starving for, to be honest. This isn't just a supplement. It's an ancient adaptogen sourced from the Himalayas that supports mitochondrial function, stamina, and overall vitality. Your coffee never did that. Okay, let's just be honest. Try it for a week and tell me your body doesn't thank you. Symbiotica's Shilajit is next level wellness, and honestly, you may never go back to drinking coffee. Click the link below down in the bio and get your Shilajit today. That's why we must raise our daughters who know the difference and walk away before he breaks the home. Before he breaks the home she's been praying for. Before he breaks the home she's been praying to build. Everybody has these visions of a beautiful marriage and a beautiful, everybody has a different vision of what they want for their future, but everybody's been envisioning it since they were little girls. And when that kind of betrayal and that hurt happens, therapists call this kind of abandonment and betrayal, they call this betrayal trauma. It activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain and deep grief. That's how bad it is. That's how devastating it is. It shatters a woman's sense of safety. She'll never feel safety. She'll never feel safe. I mean, it can happen eventually after healing, but it's going to shatter her sense of safety, leaving her to question her worth. That's our daughters if we don't take action today. And that's something we must protect our daughters from at all costs. It's our responsibility. Sadly, some of us grew up watching our mothers carry heartbreak that they never deserved. They never deserved. Trying to hold on to a home, trying to hold a home together after someone else's lack of integrity tore it apart because their sons weren't raised the way we're raising our sons. And dear friend, she was never the problem. She gave everything, her youth, her body, her physical labor, her health, working hard to raise those babies on her own. The problem was his lack of integrity. That was the problem. That's why we, as parents, have to fight to break the cycle. So our daughters never mistake pain for love, ever. And if you've lived this, if you're a mother that has lived this, or if you're a grandmother that has lived this, or someone listening that has lived this, God still restores. God is good. God is great. God is great. Your story doesn't end in betrayal, okay? You have to do that healing. You have to do the work. It begins again in healing. It begins again in healing. When God rebuilds a woman's heart, he builds it stronger, wiser, and more discerning than before. So there's beautiful hope there, okay? And to the little girls, if they're listening with their parents right now, I know sometimes we have our children around during this podcast. Hear this. Listen to this. You are worth waiting for. You're worth waiting for. You are precious. And one day, when someone truly loves you, the way that Christ loved the church, when they truly love you, they won't rush you in any way or pressure you. They will protect you and everything that needs to be protected about you. You don't have to fight for it. Okay, you don't have to fight for them to respect you, to love you, to keep their word, to keep their promises. You will be someone's dream girl. You will be someone's dream girl for life. Okay? That reminds me of my grandmother and my grandfather's beautiful love story. My mom would tell me the stories. He loved my grandmother so much so that when she ended up passing, he actually passed right after her from a broken heart. Sometimes that's really true. Sometimes you can't live without someone. It's so crazy. He just went downhill in health and he went to be with the Lord, and they're up there together. It's a beautiful love story. They had 12 children. 12. They actually had 14. They lost some twins in the beginning. They had 14 children. Can you imagine? Amazing. And in our own home, I've had the gift of watching what honor looks like in action. Little Daniel has always gone out of his way to make his little sister feel cherished. He pulls out chairs for her. He helps her. He praises her when she does something amazing or anything really at all. He's so good at that, and it comes so natural. When she's recording a podcast, drawing a picture, or just being her wonderful little self. Talks about her hands, how perfect they are, how sweet, how warm they are. He just has this very nurturing, loving way about him. The way he hugs her and protects her and celebrates her. And me too. But what I truly love is that he's doing this for this little girl. It's everything a little girl's heart deserves to experience. And this goes both ways, by the way. She's incredible to him. And his little boy heart needs that too. When they were younger, I remember he used to do this adorable thing when she'd walk into the room wearing a dress, when she'd get dressed up in the morning and brush her hair. He'd dramatically faint on the floor as if her beauty had taken his breath away. And she'd burst into giggles, and she still does, and run to wake him up like a prince. It's so precious. And even now he still does it. Not out of habit, but because it's become a part of how he honors her. The other day she cried because they had to spend a little bit of time apart. That's how much she loves him. And I realized she knows what it's like to be loved, to be protected, to be cherished. That understanding is everything to a little girl growing up. Watching them together, and I've talked about this before, it reminds me so much of my own childhood, of my brother David, the way he looked out for me, for our relationship together when we were young. And it's so healing to witness because it's exactly what my daughter deserves, that gentle, unwavering love. And I can't help to think of my mom too. Even as a single mother, she modeled those same acts of care after David passed away. My brother would do that for me, everything that Daniel's doing. But when he passed away, she stepped in the way my brother did. She'd bring me flowers every week, pull out my chairs and open my car doors and show me in her own quiet way how a woman should be treated. She'd fill in the spaces where a father's love should have been. And I see now that same legacy of honor is carried into my own children. That's the care that we do with them, and then they do it to each other. That's the beauty of breaking cycles and building new ones, because when our daughters are shown love like that from the start, they grow up knowing that kindness, love, respect, and honor are not just luxuries. They're not just words. They're actions. They're the standard. The standard. Mothers, don't let the world raise your daughter. We need to step in. We need to put the stick with the flag in the dirt and start today if we're not already doing this. Because if we stay silent, something crazy like TikTok or silly movies will define love for her. Just whatever's the hype right now, hookup culture, whatever it is. If we don't teach her discernment, our daughter's discernment, culture will teach her deception. She's going to learn it from other people. Oh, you're so pretty. And that's bare minimum. That's not even the minimum, telling someone they're pretty. Giving them attention through words. Giving them attention through words, please. Stop. We need to raise our daughters to run towards character, not compliments, okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just looking for the words for it. To recognize the fruit of a man's life, not the flash of his words. Doesn't matter what he wears, what he drives. We got to recognize the fruit of a man's life. And fathers, your role is everything. Your role is everything. How you love her mother becomes a picture. Her picture that she will imprint in her mind, in her heart, in her soul. This is the picture she'll carry of what she believes she deserves. When you keep your promises to her mother, when you defend her mother, protect her mother, pray over her mother, let her see all these things, and choose her mother, your wife, over everything and everyone. She must see you choose your wife every time, and your son, because that's the way they're going to treat their future wife, their future husband, their future spouse. And that's when our daughter learns that men can be trusted. That's the way she knows that men can be trusted. And she has the blueprint. She has the picture. She saw it growing up. And gentlemen, hear me on this. Your silence can wound as deeply as words. Okay? We talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again. I'll have my husband jump on when we do the episode together. When you defend your wife and protect your covenant, you teach your children that covenant is sacred. Beautiful, sacred. Real leadership doesn't mean the opposite. Real leadership means protection, even when it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you're going to have to speak up for your wife. You're going to have to speak up for her at times, many times. I'm sure you already have. I know this community. We love our wives. And when you honor your wife, your daughter learns she is worthy. She's worth everything. She's worthy of respect. And your sons learn what strength truly looks like. And sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you're going to have to speak up. Speak up to your own family, your own friends. You're going to have to speak up. You're going to have to lead. And the Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. That's not just a verse. It's the foundation of integrity, protection, and deep love. Our daughters deserve to see that kind of steady, godly relationship in their homes. Our daughters deserve that. And to every parent listening right now, I don't think you're here by accident. This is something we all needed to hear and talk about. We must tell our daughters tonight what integrity looks like. Show her examples and family stories, bedtime stories. Make up the stories if there's nothing available. Make them up. Read her scripture. And in your own marriage, be the example in your own marriage. She will remember what you model long after the world tries to convince her otherwise. Let's raise our daughters to be so confident in who they are that no smooth words can shake her worth. That's scary. No smooth words will ever shake her worth. Let's raise them to know that purity isn't weakness, it's strength and sacred value, and a good man will protect it. And let's raise them to understand that the right man won't just say he loves her. He'll walk in love through his actions. That he has discipline. That he has discipline and faith. He's going to walk through his actions with love, with discipline, with faith. These are the things that he's going to carry. And before we close, I want to leave you with a few, three is a good number. 3 small but powerful steps you can take today, that you can start today. You could start today to raise children who run toward integrity, not attention. I think 3 is a good number. So we talked about all of them. Model the standard. Let your children see you live what you teach, keeping your word, showing respect, and loving with consistency. What they witness becomes their definition of love. It's that simple. Number 2, name the real thing. Have honest conversations about what honor, loyalty, and integrity look like, and what they don't look like. When they can name truth, they'll recognize counterfeit attention, affection. They'll recognize counterfeit affection when they see it. And that's important. That is so important. And then number 3, we do this, right? And if you don't, I invite you to pray into their future. Pray daily for your children's hearts, their friends, and their future spouses. I pray for my children's future spouses already. I do. Prayer is how we build legacies before the world ever reaches them. And remember, this calling isn't only about protection. It's about planting beauty, right? When we model faithfulness, we teach our children that love can be safe. When we forgive and rebuild, because no one's perfect, but when we forgive and rebuild, we prove that grace can grow even from broken ground. So true. And to every mother listening, you are shaping a queen. And to every father, you are showing her what a king looks like. You are a king. Your wife is a queen. What an amazing, powerful role you play in your children's legacy, in your daughter's legacy of who she ends up with. Don't settle for raising her to be liked. Raise her to be loved. Raise her to be loved. We need to raise our children to be loved properly, fully, with her whole heart and soul. Loved for her whole heart and soul. Loved for our son's whole heart and soul. And if this message spoke to you, maybe it spoke to your heart, maybe you felt it. You felt something bubble up and you're like, wow, this is the message I needed to hear. Share it with another parent walking through this same journey. We're all walking through it. I know we're having this conversation in our community right now. Because when someone sends you something like this, it's their way of saying, I love you and I want the best for you and your family. So make sure you share it right now before you forget. And if you'd like to pour into the next generation, our next little ones that we're raising, our little co-hosts, Daniel and Destiny, have been working so hard. They've been dropping 2 episodes every week for this young leadership screen-free learning podcast. 2 episodes every week on it's called the Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Show. I'm trying to say it like they do. The Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Show. They've never missed one. And your support and donations keep their light shining. And you can support their show right now. You can support their show right now through the buymeacoffee.com Entrepreneur Kids link in the bio, or you can just remember buymeacoffee.com Entrepreneur Kids. And there's a link down in the bio. A gift and donation helps keep building this faith first for family-driven legacies. It's such a great show. It really is. I love listening we listen to it. We love listening to it together. Our whole family listens to it. Our friends listen to it. I really believe that I'm not just saying this, I believe you'll enjoy it. It's about leaders, entrepreneurs, modern day entrepreneurs, historical entrepreneurs. And also mindset. It's just, it's so well done. It's so well done. I love it. Anyway, so go check it out. And again, thank you for spending this time with me today on Becoming Unshakable, the Legacy Conversations special edition bonus series brought to you by the Entrepreneur Parent Podcast. No matter what storm you're walking through, stay rooted in faith, anchored in love, and confident in your calling, your God-given destiny. Because strong families build unshakable legacies. Remember, you are not behind, you are being built if you're going through it. Okay? And when God reveals what He's been doing in your obedience, it will make sense in ways the world will not even be able to explain. Okay? If you've experienced this, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. And if you haven't, you will. Got this. And may your home be filled with truth that heals, love that protects, and faith that is so strong, it becomes your family's inheritance. Until next time, keep leading with love and keep building a legacy that lasts. God bless you. We love you. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, beautiful friends, for listening to this important message from Mama. Share with someone you love and care about. Oh, and we'd love to personally invite you to listen to our podcast. It's for young future leaders ready to change the world and be a light in the dark. Listen together as a family. It's called the Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Show. We know you'll love it. Be bold, be kind, build an unforgettable family legacy. God bless you, we love you. And parents, if no one told you yet, let us be the first. You're doing a remarkable job. And remember, you are the hero of your story, because every legacy begins with a hero, and that hero is you.